In today's video, why, when you're trying to go from this to this, you should never make this diet mistake. Hey guys, what's going on? This is Paul from physique.com, and I'm here in Tampa, Florida, home of the Stanley Cup champion, the American League champion, and now Super Bowl champion Bucks. So we are happy to celebrate here in Tampa this week. But today's video is going to be a question that comes to you directly from my Instagram. So if you guys are interested in sending me a question for me to answer, go to my Instagram, direct message here on the screen. Then I'm going to read the question and we're going to discuss it. So today's question that I'm going to answer for you guys is a perfect example of how I do things as a coach, how I make decisions, and why I think you should never eat first thing in the morning. Well, never is probably a strong word, but what I'm going to tell you about is the reasons behind that, and that is both personal experience and science, because I have some cool research to share with you guys. But first, if you guys like this type of information around the science, the evidence of reaching the physique of your dreams, hit subscribe. You already know that. It's what I love to do here. Okay, so here's the question. I work out at 3 a.m. For the past 2 months, I've been eating a small meal before I go to train. Let's just say it has caused me to be extremely hungry during the day. I'm also counting down the hours till my next meal, which is causing anxiety. I'm not liking this feeling at all. And I eat right when I get home at 5:30 a.m. Maybe this is a problem as well. Maybe I should hold off a couple more hours. I just don't know what I can do to stop this feeling. And of course, I'm trying to build muscle and the fat is coming a bit too fast for me. What is a sufficient amount of a calorie surplus to gain muscle? So thank you for the great question, because it poses a lot of things. Now, the first thing you asked is what is a amount of calories you need to build muscle? Well, I say you can build muscle at a deficit. You can also build muscle at maintenance. You don't need to be gaining body fat to be putting on muscle. It does sometimes make things easier because you get really strong when you got a little extra body fat. But the topic I want to discuss is having that early first meal, and why I think it's a mistake to eat before you do your cardio at 3 in the morning. I often thought for me to do my best in the gym, to build muscle, lose fat, I needed to eat before I trained, even if it was early. You see, my favorite thing to do at this point is wake up about 5:30 in the morning and do cardio immediately. Why? Well, I don't really have the time to get up, eat a meal, go to the gym, train. I don't feel good in the morning. However, I feel good enough to just get up and start walking. In fact, my treadmill's right over here. But the point is that I started getting up and doing my cardio without eating a meal versus having a meal before I got up, did cardio, or trained. And I found something pretty interesting happened. I found my hunger signals were quite different throughout the rest of the day. And I found some cool research to back me up. So it doesn't really make a lot of sense when you think of it from a logical standpoint, but exercise actually suppresses appetite. I know, that sounds strange to say that, but I found some research to back me up on this because I personally tried it both ways. I tried eating before I trained in the morning and I tried eating after. When I would eat before I would train, what I found is I was extremely hungry throughout the rest of the day, oftentimes unable to stick to my calories. However, when I did not eat until after that first bout of exercise, my appetite would be suppressed for hours, and I would actually find that I went to bed feeling great and I was excited to get up in the morning and exercise, but at no point did I find I had issues sticking to my diet. So that got me thinking, am I an N of 1? Am I the only person that feels this way? No, I actually found some research that backs this up. In conclusion, our large pooled data set confirms that single bouts of moderate to high intense aerobic exercise transiently yet robustly suppresses hunger, but has no effect on ad libitum energy intake across meals consumed on the day of exercise in healthy young men. Well, it tells us that exercise can actually help us suppress our appetite. Now, if you want to get into the nuts and bolts of it, it actually talks about how it changes our body's response to a hormone called ghrelin during the post-exercise experience. But I think what a lot of us assume is if we go exercise, we're going to be hungrier. But our body has a natural ability to kind of correct for this. Now, I wasn't able to explain it to myself why, when I got up and started doing cardio every day, I was able to eat less throughout the day and feel better versus when I would get up early, have a meal, go train, and then eat post-workout, I would be ravenous throughout the entire day. So the question comes down to trying it both ways for you. Now, I realize what I said in the beginning of the video was never do this. But, you know, that's kind of a hook. I got to get you guys into the video to hear my thoughts on this. But I would love to hear your thoughts on this. If you are a morning trainer, as in, I would say before 7 a.m., before 6 a.m., as in you train before most people are awake, do you eat prior to that? or do you eat after it? And what is your process? Do you have a meal late at night that kind of fuels your morning workout? That's how I feel. I feel like my last meal of the day is often gonna fuel my training the next day, right? So I don't worry about eating after 6 p.m. I focus on the 24-hour window, and that helps me get my results. Even today, the day after the Bucks dominated the Kansas City Chiefs, and I was celebrating, I was still here at 6 a.m. doing my cardio, and I felt great afterwards, and I was not ravenous. And so it just holds true for me. So never ever eat before you exercise in the morning, unless it works best for you. All right guys, talk to you tomorrow.